Delay in filing PAS 3, Section 39 of Companies Act 2013. Based on ROC Chennai adjudication order dated 5th March 2026. In corporate compliance, timely filing of statutory forms with ROC is extremely important. Even a small delay in filing can attract penalties under Companies Act 2013. In this video, I'll analyze a recent adjudication order issued by ROC Chennai where penalty was imposed on a company and its directors. Here, on 2 directors out of 4, 2 directors are penalized. That is very interesting. I'll explain. For non-compliance with the statutory provisions, this case relates to Sweet Karam Coffee India Private Limited, and clearly demonstrates how even a procedural delay of 35 days can lead to penalties for the company and the officer in default. You can see here. Actually involved here is 3 directors and the company. The individuals are examined as officers in default under Companies Act. Legal provision. If you see Section 39 of Companies Act, which deals with allotment of securities by a company. Subsection 4. Whenever a company having a share capital allots securities, it must file a return of allotment with ROC in the prescribed form. PAS 3, return of allotment. And even Rule 12 of Companies Prospectus and Allotment of Securities Rules 2014. This rule provides the return of allotment must be filed within 30 days. As per the Rule 12, return of allotment must be filed within 30 days of allotment, along with the fee prescribed. Failure to comply with the requirement constitute statutory non-compliance. Section 35, subsection 5 talks about the penalties. If the company fails to comply with the requirement under Section 39, the company and every officer in default shall be liable to pay penalty 1,000 rupees per day for each day during which the default continues, subject to maximum penalty 1 lakh. This means that even minor delays in filing PS3 can attract monetary penalties. Here the facts of the case. Actual default committed by the company. Company allotted 1,30,000 equity shares of face value 10 rupees per share through rights issue. Allotment on 10th March 2023. Company was required to file PS3 within 30 days of allotment. Therefore, last date for filing PS3 is 9th April 2023. The company actually filed Form PS3 on 15th May 2023. So, resulted in a delay of 35 days. The delay is 35 days. This is beyond the statutory time limit. So, suo motu adjudication file, they filed GNL1. And this means the company voluntarily approached ROC requesting adjudication for the delay. So the company admitted that the delay occurred inadvertently, no malified intention, and requested a lenient treatment from adjudicating authority. So accordingly, show cause notice issued, and hearing also took place. Company replied, the delay was unintentional, it was procedural lapse, requested a reduction of penalty. So finally, the identification of officer in default company filed GNL 3, designating specific persons as officers for responsible for compliance. So 2 individuals were designated as officers in default. This step is very important because the penalties under Companies Act are imposed on specific individuals responsible for the default. They filed Form GNL 3. So the company allotted shares on 10th March 2023, PS3 required to file within 30 days, but the company filed on 15th March 2023. So there was a clear violation of Section 39 and ready with Rule 12. Therefore, the company and officers were liable for penalty under Section 39, subsection 5. This is the clear. So penalty imposed on the company 35,000 rupees and other 2 directors because JNL 3 filed. No? So other 2 directors 35 each because 1,000 rupees per day, 35 days delay. The directors were not penalized. The other two directors were not penalized. However, the order will still show their name and penalty imposed is 0. It can go up to maximum 1 lakh here, but penalty imposed only 35,000 on the company and on each director, 2 directors. Here on the 2 directors, it is 2 directors are penalized. You see here, other 2 directors are not penalized because they are the officer in default. GNL 35. And penalty must be paid within 90 days through adjudication portal and penalty from their personal funds. After payment, SRN has to be uploaded, challan has to be uploaded on MCA portal. Right to appeal is there before RD within 60 days through ADJ form. Consequences of non-payment of penalty 454 subsection 8 additional penalties, prosecution, other legal consequences. Here the key compliance lesson is always file BS3 within 30 days. Return of allotment is a mandatory filing. Track compliance timelines, proper compliance calendar. Form GNL3, companies can specify officers responsible for compliance. Directors are personally liable. The penalty imposed on the directors or officers in default. We have 2 channels, RR Corporates and other channel, RR Legal Talks. Please do subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you will not miss my latest videos.